Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. Alright. So, took care of grabbing some protein today, some beef for my stew type, whatever you call it, hodgepodge of rice and corn and all different types of vegetables I put together. Potatoes. I ran out of meat, so I bought some of that today. But yeah, man. So I was telling you at the beginning of the other video, this is one of them days where I ain't really had the energy to do a whole lot of anything, but I also had no desire to sit in the house at all. I woke up at like 10:15, much later than I like to, and was groggy when I did, but you know, as I was telling myself, I just pretended like I had energy and moved as if I did when I didn't have it. Very strange mentality, but like I just shrugged it off, more or less. It just kept pushing, so I wish I had the energy to do that every day when I don't necessarily have the energy, if that makes any sense. The mentality to just pretend like you have energy, even if you move a little slower, do all of the things that you would do and just account for it in the slowness of how you move. And that's pretty much what it was for me. Like, I ain't have it, but I made it happen. So that's it. On my walking, I climbed the hills in Hollywood today. Forced myself to do it. Forced myself to do all the things that ultimately I didn't feel like I had the energy to do. So yeah, after I did that, got back on the train, and here I am. So yeah, it's been a good day. Energy, nice Friday. The weather is good, not too hot. Could be a little cooler, but nothing too serious. You know, we're spoiled out here in LA, so this is fantastic weather for 99% of the places on earth. So yeah, man. I don't really have much to talk about. Just, of course, paying attention to all the stuff that's going on, man. As somebody else said on the internet, if last year was the year of truth, this is the year of takedowns. Like last year you getting exposed, this year they take you to jail. And so that's, you know, the latest thing was that Mo3 situation. I wasn't familiar with Mo3 until after he passed. I had never heard any of his music, never stumbled across nothing. I didn't know who he was, but he was unalived back in like 01, I believe it was, something like that. 2000 maybe, end of 2000, I think that's what it was, 2020 rather. 21 or 20 is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, they say that a rather popular rapper from Dallas, Texas paid for it. They arrested Yella Beezy yesterday for that. And I'm familiar with Yella Beezy. I actually like some of his music. I wasn't familiar with Mo3, but I was definitely familiar with Yella Beezy. I think he's a pretty talented dude, but you know, I mean, just like a lot of people who push the music in this era, say some of them don't really come from just the most innocent of black backgrounds, and we got on that in the last video of talking about the music and who invests in the music and what their intentions are. But some people, whether they have good intentions with their music or good messages with their music or not, don't mean they ain't good at making music. And if they were raised with better cultures, the music they make would be more positive, but it don't take away from the talent itself. And so I think Yella Beezy is pretty talented, and it looks like he's gonna have to face this charge, man. And it's, you know, murder for hire. He didn't necessarily pull the trigger, but he hired the person who did it, they say, allegedly. And so that's what's going on, man. And the sick thing about it is, this is on the heels, actually probably the same day, that Big U and some of the people from his crew went down. I don't know much about much, but if I listen to the music, Yella Beezy, he claimed to be from the blue team just like Big U from the blue team in Dallas, Texas. They side of things, or however it goes. So do I think those two things are put together somehow? I don't see why one wouldn't think it could be possible. It could be a hell of a coincidence. It could also be a not connected, but an overall intention to take down blue team members that might have some fame attached to them on the same day. To send an overall message. Maybe the two situations aren't connected, but those who look to take them down wanted to connect them situations based on a demonstration of that day. That's what I think is probably something to look at. They're like, okay, we're going to pick this day. They've been working on these cases for 4 years, but we're going to pick this day to take both of these guys down. I don't think that that's out of the realms of possibility. I don't think so. So, you know, as I said in the videos that I've been making about these type of things, if you want to associate yourself with associations, then expect for them to come take your ass to jail. That's really where we at with it in 2025. I don't think it's much deeper than that. Yeah, I ain't getting away with nothing. They just building their cases. If you did something, they building their cases. Period. They watching you. They been watching you. Whatever little conflicts you get into, they letting you get into it. And then they going to pick up the pieces of all the stuff that go on from that. And then they going to pile it all up with everything you do over the course of 5 years. And then they going to take your ass down on a random day. And they going to pat each other on the back for doing so. Make you snitch on your brothers and make a bunch of people snitch on you. And then put that on their resume when it's time for them to be voted back into their respective elected offices. How they took your ass down. This is how the game works. Y'all want to play the game with them? You got an expiration date on your success. As long as you sign up for that, understanding that, then it ain't going to be too difficult to deal with it when it comes. This is what you sign up for. A couple years of getting away with whatever I want to do, this, that, and the third, and I get caught. That's what I sign up for. Ain't deeper than that. Y'all can run around and act like it's deeper than that, but it's not. And there's a lot of y'all who haven't been caught yet. Do understand what's coming for you. This ain't a game. Have your life, particularly with your children and all that, set aside their money that's legitimate, start a business for them, a fund for them or something, in somebody else's name or something like that, so that they, when it's time for them to come get your ass, they don't take that money from your kids. These are the type of things the gang members need to start doing if they got a lot of money. At this point, you just got to expect for them to take everything, man. And not only are they putting you in jail, but they're gonna strip you of your money, man. They're gonna strip you of what you earn. And so, and anything that doesn't get stripped away from the gov is likely gonna be poured into your defense. So, like, I don't understand, like, at this point why anybody want to be a gang member. At this point, I put my flag down. I don't give a damn. Homies can be mad all they want. I ain't going to jail for you dudes. I don't care, bro. But that's coming from a civilian who wasn't raised to care. If I was raised in the culture where I gotta care, then maybe I have a certain pride. I ain't doing. Nah, I'm afforded the opportunity to see things a bit more reasonably, if I'm being completely frank with everybody. And I'm not afforded the understanding that doing evil with evil people is supposed to afford me some loyalty when it's time to go down for it or something. I don't know, man. I don't know what people are on, but y'all ain't demonic organizations, whether you want to admit it or not. Whether you were raised to believe that or not, whether you have any sense of spiritual understanding or not, y'all are part of some really, really bad organizations that are definitely going to go down by even bigger, badder, eviler organizations that are looking to clean up the streets. So they're going to clean up you for sure. So that's really been the story for the week, man. Because they damn sure ain't going to turn their attention to the Zionists who are killing kids in Palestine. They're not going to do that. They're not going to RICO them. They're not. Those are the people who pay their bills. And there's people who are interested in taking you down to make themselves feel better. Just like they do in every facet of brown and black people all over the world. In one way or another, they're turning their attention and their investment dollars, and they're gaining their wealth, and controlling and destroying you. That is it. In whatever facets or forms you are. You could be this kind of brown, that kind of black, doesn't matter. Hey, one way or another, one leg is pointed at kicking your ass. That's a fact. Every bit of the evidence tells us that right now. You are Islamic, you Mexican from over down there, you black, Caribbean of some sort from over there. It don't matter, man. If you're in one of these Western worlds, one leg of white supremacy is aiming to kick your ass. And so if you're doing anything at all, they're coming. You are the object of the game. And I cannot stress that enough. You are the object of the game. They ain't got nothing better to do than come get you. That's what they're on. That's the whole point. That's what powers their spirit to the highest order of their confidence, is knowing they took your black or brown self down. That's it. That's what it's about. It is the object of the game. It's dominate dark. That's it. And the older I get, the more clear that is to me. A lot of y'all on the outskirts of these situations, the object of the game is not to do nothing but take your wealth from you. If you have some land they want, if you're part of the Orient and you starting to rise, it's keep you at bay, but also do business with you. Because they don't have your brain, see? They don't have you warped into their cultures. You're not brainwashed by the behaviors that they otherwise have us brainwashed by, that allows for us to be the reason why we're struggling despite all the evidence showing us that we have help in that area by them, from them. Yeah, people of the Orient ain't caught up in all that. They got their own cultures, they got their own thing, they got their own people, their own, they haven't been necessarily just completely and utterly drowned out by white supremacy and Western supremacy. They are a superpower that white supremacy has not figured out how to conquer yet. And that's Chinese. That's exactly what that is, man. Everybody else is who they got. They got you, or they're trying to get you, or they're weaponizing themselves against you at this time. If you're in the Middle East, they're trying to kill y'all for sure. Or keep you corrupted, own your governments, and have y'all in their back pocket. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. Tempt y'all with all types of demonic stuff so that you can align with their pockets and ultimately help them continue to dominate the world. You know, that kind of thing. But otherwise, if you try to buck them, and of course they're trying to annihilate you, paint you out to be a terrorist and all those different things, which is, you know, like that's just what it is. But yeah, man, as far as everything else, it's like, yo, man, like the object of the game. The object of the game, take your ass down. They don't have another game that's more important to them. Money, they already won the money game. If anything, they're trying to fend off those who are trying to take as much as they can take from them. But even there, it's like, you know, they got that game sold up. It's to dominate the darkies game that they're really playing right now. We're going to take the land from the Arabs. And that's the game. That's why a lot of y'all black white supremacists, the people who are, you know, Mexican white supremacists, people who, you know, think they white, like you genuinely think that you somehow benefit from white supremacy or something like that, y'all are the ones that they really don't respect at all, because you don't stand on nothing. All you do is lick they boot like an animal, you know, to you. And that's what they think you are, like an animal. A very loyal animal, but still a very unclean one. But they're never going to actually tell you that. But they will laugh and he behind your back. A lot of y'all fight people like me tooth and nail on these conversations, because you don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I don't. Fair, I always leave room for being wrong, but just the same, I've been paying attention to this stuff all my dang life, man. And it ain't like I've been sitting in black neighborhoods bumping elbows with nothing but black people. No, I've been surrounded by white people my whole life. I grew up in Hollywood. You don't get much more indoctrinated and bullshit than that. And so what I'm telling you is, I've had a lot of man hours in the presence of individuals who think this way. I've seen them work. And been around their energy, read that energy, seen them smiles, knew they was fake. You know, so it's not like I'm sitting up here just completely in the dark talking from the outside looking in. No. No. Not necessarily at all. But what I'm telling you is, not everybody's everything, you know. Not everybody's what I'm saying they are. There's a lot of people don't fall into line with, just like there's a lot of black people who don't align with some of the cultures that ultimately have been invested in to deteriorate black people. Nobody's everything. Just like not all Israelis are interested in seeing Palestinians' children destroyed, although it's a damn good portion of them. It's not everybody. If it's everybody you see, that doesn't mean it's everybody that's there. Now, they've done a good job in that place of punishing people who don't align with that propaganda or who would otherwise speak out against it, just like they're trying to do everywhere else. They have influence, trying to make it impossible for me to say these things without facing jail time. You know, changing the definition of anti-Semitism every 3 months, trying to say that it's wrong to boycott them. Since when has it been bad to withhold your money from a company? Well, if you're doing it to these certain type of people, as of last year, they're trying to put all types of laws in there that say that you can't divest or boycott them or stand up against them or criticize them, hold them accountable. And they stand behind hate laws, you know. And I seen a commercial with Tom Brady and Snoop Dogg a few days ago spewing concepts of hate at one another. I don't know. I was listening to it on mute. I was watching it on mute, rather. I don't know what the hell they said. I turned that shit down. But more or less, this is paid for by the fight against anti-Semitism. Like, that's not real hatred. That is someone looking at what you're doing that isn't right and holding you accountable. But of course, you're going to hide behind hate, just like you're hiding behind the religion and the race and the identity of Judaism. So of course, whatever holds you accountable, you can pervert that to be anti what you're not. Because the whole thing's a damn lie. So why not take it that far? That's the point. The whole thing is a lie. So what good is putting on a hat if I can't weaponize what ultimately is considered so wrong, pointed at it, and into being a weapon for me in regards to doing whatever the hell I want to do? That's how that works. It's not real anti-Semitism. It's dare you criticize Israel. I criticize whoever I want until they work it into laws that it's literally illegal for me to do so. Try to silence my voice on whatever platforms they control so that I can't say, hey, it's not okay for them to slaughter children in the nighttime. And they hire some of their celebrities that they propped up a long time ago that I grew up watching, that they likely faked everything for to give them the celebrity that they have. Make you wonder how many Tom Brady's rings were actually legitimate when you consider they propped his ass up in this commercial. Like all the times the Patriots were caught cheating, now it all makes sense. And look, I understand the premise behind a commercial like that. Hey, it makes no sense to hate. Cool. But if the hatred isn't actual hatred, and the people who are paying for these commercials are not actually being hated on, but more so trying to keep from having to be held accountable for the slaughtering of innocent people for which they resent you for, yeah, that's when it becomes a situation where you have to look over at Tom Brady and Snoop Dogg and say, how the hell did you get here in the first place? If these people propped you up, then I got to question every damn thing that ever was placed in my face what you wanted. And if this is what ultimately you're going to end up doing, is doing propaganda campaigns that pervert the understanding of what hatred is versus what is accountability being held. And furthermore, changing the definition of hatred toward their people every couple of months, as I already said, to mold and to adapt into the new forms of accountability that those who don't appreciate what they've done are ultimately holding against them. They got to keep on updating it. They don't mean this no more. It means this now. Whatever the hell you doing, yeah, that. You can't do it no more. Clown shit. That's what that is. That is clown shit. Demonic clown shit, y'all. It. It's like the movie. That's what that is. And look, man, I ain't got no interest in making them feel better about it. I keep telling y'all, for those who follow me, may be sick of my content, I appreciate everybody who showed up for the Lakers, stuck around for my therapy sessions. I don't really have a desire to change my content right now. I really don't. I will do my Laker videos. I won't incorporate the two energies at all. It's one person that does Laker videos, another person that does this. Same channel, so if you happen to click on it and you see that's what it is, it's been what it is. It's been what it's been the whole time. 2-3 years I've been talking like this, maybe longer. This is part of my personality. It's holding white supremacy accountable for the evil that is done. I don't hate white people. Like I said, I grew up around white people. I really did. good portion of my life, I was treating them with more respect than I treat my own people. Just had a sheer understanding that was a culture. And to say yes sir, yo, no sir around them. Fuckery. Literal fuckery, man. I learned to respect myself. That's what I did. Not to say that I don't call a person sir, but like, I don't call a black person sir and a Spanish person sir just the same. It ain't gonna be none of that ridiculous, brainwashing to make us think that they are better than us, or supposed to be revered better than us, or above reproach, or we need to, all that stuff that they was trying to teach people during slavery and directly afterward, to revere them and fear them, and not look at their daughters, or it's like stupid shit, man. Stuff that I resent today as a 40-year-old man. I resent it. I resent the programming, that I got to undo the programming in my life. And I remind myself, no, these people aren't better than you. You don't have to treat them better than you would treat someone who looks like you. It's programming, man. We were taught how to do that. We were taught how to do that by people who were taught how to do that. By people who were taught how to do that. Generational brainwashing to revere white supremacy and not care nothing about black people in our own communities. That's my op. Look at a dude the same age, 10 times more evil in his heart, and be like, well, I'm not going to touch him. I'm going to leave him alone. We're going to say sir around him. How many times I done heard black people say, man, don't do that around the whites. You're scaring the whites. Type of weird ass brainwashing. It's brainwashing. And I want my white friends to know that shit. A lot of us have been brainwashed to revere y'all in a way that is unnatural, man. In ways that we would never revere any other race, any other person. Some of us buck that a great deal. Maybe in an exaggerated way too, but there's a good portion of us that will straighten up and fry right around you, and for sure won't respect one another at all. Look at each other with the utmost amount of contempt or resentment. But then look at you and say, sir, yes sir, no sir, man, that shit is brainwashing. That is awful. Brainwashing for our people. There ain't nothing good about that. It's hard to look yourself in the mirror when that's what you are ultimately taught about yourself, and see something that you ultimately respect. I want to tell y'all, man, that Jim Crow era stuff, all of the different eras from which we fought, try to get our respect. When I listen to some of these freedom fighters from the 60s, you listen to them folks that you barely know anything about because they weren't given the respect they deserve for helping black people understand their worth, and furthermore help them understand what's been coming against them all this time. I have more that I relate in regards to those people than I do some of these people that ultimately pushing all this culture these Snoop Dogs and all these people. I feel like I have more in common with the Black Panthers than I do the Crips and Bloods. Just naturally of who I am. Like, I relate more to these people than I do those who were trying to teach me how to be who I'm supposed to become. Dead in jail. Part of some organization that's going to get caught up in a RICO. I didn't relate to none of that. Naturally, as a human being, just based on my own personality. I related more to people like Malcolm X. and related more to people like Medgar Evers. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally. I wish those people were romanticized, and the speeches that they made were romanticized the same way all this demonic nonsense that we talked about in the first video today was. I wish more people would have made that cool in my community, to listen to that in our music and make songs about that more often. Although there were some who snuck it into their music. But they had to throw so much negativity out there so that they could actually be heard by those who invest in all of this on a major platform. You got to almost turn the other way when they're pushing nonsense themselves, because that's how they get the fame and ultimately the ability to have such a big voice, to sneak stuff in there that needs to be there. They had to put some bullcrap out there, ultimately aligned with the nonsense that would reach the masses. which we know damn well ain't got nothing to do with our culture, but we supposed to be influencing and entertaining so damn much. The masses, white supremacists, people who are in the dark, their children who don't even know the first thing about the black plight, but are definitely amused by black music and black culture. So we gotta walk that thin line of telling the truth about how we feel about things, and furthermore, connecting with them on things that connect to their intentions and their spirits and their hopes and their dreams and all these different things that we can't even relate to half the time, but we try so hard to connect to because that is what's gonna make us famous. Is a 14-year-old white girl in Iowa gonna be able to bump this? No, then I can't. I'm not gonna be able to make that music. They're not gonna invest in it. Type shit. So you hear your favorite artists who sneak these things that I already mentioned into their music about, you know, loving yourself and undoing this nonsense and all this that would ultimately make you better for listening to. Make songs every once in a while that ultimately almost betray every message they ever snuck into their music. And I've seen so many of them do it. I'm seeing Kendrick do it now. Seen Nas do it. Seen Outkast do it. Seen Common do it. So many of these individuals, these are the same individuals taught me how to love myself secretly in the music and in the B-side songs that y'all wasn't listening to in Iowa. They were the ones telling me that I should buck all of this, read more, love myself. They were sneaking that stuff into the music, but it was never in any of the big songs, you know? It was never in the stuff that actually was reaching the masses. You know, in the songs that they knew the masses weren't listening to, hell, they weren't even vetting through half of these songs. When they're investing in these people to push poison onto their own people. If they were there, them songs were there. They sent me down a rabbit hole a lot of times. That's why I just be patient at this point with some of them. If I know they got real messages behind their music, good energy behind their music, and they happen to do a song with Playboi Carti talking about bad bitches and stupid shit like that, it gets to a point where it's like, yeah, I know he'll have a song tomorrow telling us that we need to love ourselves and higher power and, you know, I'm a black Israelite tomorrow. It's a shame how so many of us gotta lie to the masses so that we can have voices to tell the truth to whoever would listen to our B-sides and our C-side songs. It's a damn shame we gotta do that for you, to invest in it. If it wasn't for the agenda of destroying our people, you would know you can make just as much money investing in us, loving ourselves in the presence of everybody else. But God forbid black people learn how to respect themselves. God forbid black people learn how to respect others and fight for other people's causes. God forbid we start learning how to use our money in ways that ultimately make money for us instead of throwing our money away at things that rappers wear. First thing we want to do when we hit a lick is go to a jewelry store. Stupid shit. We were taught how to love and they ain't make no damn sense. Somebody got to tell the truth about all this. This stuff was meant to make us look stupid. No different than people 3 years ago at the turn of the year wearing them big ass clown red shoes. Mickey Mouse shoes that y'all was running around in. A social experiment to make you look foolish. No different than Sexy Red and people like that are up there to do nothing but be made fun of and paint our daughters out to have the lowest of frequency and the lowest of value. It's the only reason why they're there. Is to present to the masses that we ain't worth a damn. And furthermore, to have it so that the masses continue to think we ain't worth a damn and not value us. That's all you there for. Ain't there for no other reason. Doing the most ignorant and stupidest shit with the biggest platforms plastering you all over the world in front of everybody to represent us absolutely and utterly as disrespectfully as humanly possible. You are literal satire. Literal satire. I cannot stress this enough. Half of our celebrities that they invest in are satire, fam. It's a joke. They don't take you seriously at all. They don't even want to. They hearing under their breath every time they invest in you idiots. Because they know it's going to blow up. Because they've been investing in the culture of satire as it pertains to black people for years. They already know this is going to work. Because they trained everybody to make it work. They trained everybody to feel this way. As we talked about in the previous video. It's just a carryover from that. I'm still on that. I'm telling y'all right now, man. I'm of the mindset that we start pointing this stuff out, shunning all of these people who take the bait, all of these people who sign these contracts knowing that they're being set up to be satire. We start shunning all these people that don't give a damn about us, whether they're in our culture or outside of it, investing in it, in the deterioration of our people. We start making them understand that the jig is up, and then we're going to continue to plant this seed everywhere we speak. And we're going to wake as many people up as humanly possible before we leave the earth. And we're going to train the next generation to come in to look at this stuff and be ready for it. Look at this stuff and not be amused by it. Look at this stuff and at the very least, wonder if they're being made fun of in their faces. If people playing in their faces. Because the reality is, the answer is, absolutely. They are definitely playing in your face. If they didn't put one of their own up there to look that crazy, then that's what they're doing. They're playing in your face. Now I watched what's this girl's name? Gal Gadot, the ex-IDF soldier, Israeli turned actress, get her Hollywood star a few days ago. And this woman is an IDF soldier. She literally terrorized Palestinians at the will of her government before she became an actress. I don't know what she did necessarily as it pertains to a lot of what went on in this genocide, which well after she had gotten famous and moved on from that soldier life, but they had been terrorizing these people for 75 years at this point. So she definitely had a lot to do with something that was just flat out racist and anti-Palestinian. I'm sure she did her share in one way or another. And she's getting Hollywood stars in the middle of the genocide. Just like they wanted to give that other lady that I was telling y'all about and promoting and nominating her for the Nobel Peace Prize. And she ain't done nothing but run around talking about how she's going to take back the land and how they have a right to destroy all the Arabs and all of this. They giving her a peace prize. Ain't nothing about what she talking about peace. Ain't nothing about what that lady talking about have anything to do with any damn peace. Just like me saying all of this doesn't make me anti-Semitic. They're just distorting reality as it fits them to continue their colonial project of death and destruction upon children and innocent people. That's literally all that is. And celebrating one another in the presence of that to further reinforce that distortion. When they know people are all over the world are protesting against this crap. It was within 3 hours, 4 hours of them putting that star down that somebody came through and picked it away and destroyed it. They know that we're not fooled by their demonstrations of celebrating one another. They know we don't approve of what they do. They know that we've seen the bodies of the killed children that they've murdered. They know this. But they're going to stay in the script. They're going to stay on script. They're going to will it to be true. Even if they caught, they still acting like they didn't know. You know, what are you talking about? Just like a person that cheats on their spouse and get caught and then pretends like their spouse didn't see what they saw. I don't know what you're talking about. That ain't me. All the evidence pointing at you. Yeah, but you got to prove that. Till then, I'm going to die on the lie. That's all they doing is dying on the lie. Everybody caught them. They did all their crimes on camera. All of the things that ultimately pointed them doing this for the last 75 years is out there. It's one click away for all of us. They're going to stand on the lie. They're going to keep on celebrating people that do what they do. They keep on shunning people and molding us who try to hold them accountable, righteously as it is, to be terrorist sympathizers, the worst people in the world, anti-Semitic and all different types of other stuff. Anything, I mean literally anything they can to stand on a damn lie. Caught or not, do something about it is essentially what they're saying. Until then, we just gonna keep on lying, keep on celebrating ourselves, and making damn sure that we mold everybody who's holding us accountable out to be what it is that ultimately we are. That's what they're doing. And if for some reason somebody does something crazy, like hurt Gail Godot, whatever her name is, and they just chalk that up to the fact that, well, that's just it's part of the game. You know what they call it? I can't think of the word for it. It'll come around in a minute. Where they sacrifice their own people. Silence of the Lambs shit. They call it the Hannibal directive. That's what that is. If somebody would have hurt her in the presence of them doing this stupid shit, it's like, well, I mean, that's fine, because we will slaughter as many of our own to prove our point as possible. We'll eat away at our own numbers for the greater war. Like, that's what they do. That's what they do. They're always willing to go spaces that others wouldn't go, which is why they have what they have. They celebrate all different types of horrible sexual crimes amongst themselves, because they know there's places that you won't go. First of all, your moral compass, 9 out of 10 people's moral compass won't allow them to dig in those type of spaces. And then furthermore, they've reinforced that it's horrible within what it is they control, so that you even more so wouldn't go to those spaces to get things done, even if it's necessary that things get done. Meanwhile, they do those things because they feel they're necessary to get done, crossing all the lines that they've not only deemed that you wouldn't cross, but have trained you not to cross within. Every accusation is a confession. That is the reinforcement of that psychology. I'm telling you, they've been playing mind games with people for a long time, training us how to leave them alone while they do the worst things to all of us. But if you have a relationship with God, you're not going to be caught up in that at all. You're going to be tunnel. You're going to keep your eyes on God. It's like the Lord told me a long time ago when I first got my relationship with God and started hearing that voice in my head as a grown person. When I first started meditating and really started understanding that the Lord wanted to connect with me, one of the first things he said to me, would you keep your eyes on me? I don't give a damn what's going on around us. Just keep your eyes on me. You lock your eyes on my eyes and walk. And you break concentration there, and you're going to be caught up in the fog. But if you lock your eyes with the Lord and keep walking, you will complete what it is I want you to do. And that's what I've been doing the whole time. And y'all can tell by how I talk unapologetically, matter-of-factly. Even when I misspeak, I keep pushing forward. Why? Because my eyes are locked on the living God. I ain't looking at none of this crap. I'm the type of person where I'm not looking at Medusa, because I know it can turn me to stone. I'm the type of person that when he goes to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, I'm not turning around to look back. I'm going to survive that shit. He tell me to look forward, damn it, I'm walking forward. I ain't that type of stupid. Naturally, I'm not. So as it pertains to this type of thing, it's the same thing. Lord told me, keep your eyes on me. That's what I've been doing. Ever since. I ain't took my eyes off of him yet. And I suggest y'all do the same thing. Meditate, pray as much as humanly possible. Welcome him into the darkest and deepest parts of your mind. Give him access to any and all things within you and around you. And do it in practice, not just once and leave it alone. You say them prayers every day. Because in a world that capitalizes off of devilish confusion and fog, you need to keep your eyes locked on the Lord. You need to. Now, for a million different people, that's a million different things. Religion this, religion that, go to church every Sunday, whatever. That's cool, bro. Me, personally, I'm praying every time I get in the shower. That keeps me aligned with the Holy Spirit, because I know I'm going to be in the shower every day. And that's the time I have opportunity to pray with God and keep the affirmation of the different things that he put in my heart to practice in conversation. Those things that he gave me to chant, For the only applause I ever need is a beating in my heart from the two of the percussion itself, and every bit of appreciation placed in others given to me is placed in them by love. So I ask that you use me as a means of showing appreciation to others, and God bless my brothers. I ask you place us in the right place at the right time in the right mind, so let our light shine to all others, an opportunity to shine along with us. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, of whom I am a witness. In Jesus' name, amen. Yes, say that twice a day for years. For I'm a child of God, I will believe in the Lord my God, and I will achieve his intended purpose upon my life in Jesus' name. Blessed the whole way through. Blessed be the name of you. Hallelujah. Every day. I stay prayed up every day. Twice a day. By default. That's why I be telling y'all, man, I don't find myself confused about whether or not I'm supposed to speak the way that I do. My relationship with God at this point is very strong, although it must get stronger. I still am not where I need to be, but I'm on the path to get there. So when I open my mouth to say certain things to y'all, it may not be popular in the times we're in, or that other people are being silenced for or murdered for. I don't give a damn, because I'm doing what it is I know I'm supposed to do. And a lot of us gonna try to live 100 years doing things the wrong way. I'd rather live 50 doing things the way the Lord told me to. It's just how I feel. Because I've done things the wrong way. I've gone against the Lord. I saw what that looked like. He struck me down. It made me face horrible fears. I don't have any interest in playing with him anymore. I don't care how many people are stupid enough to not do what he say. I'm not in a space anymore where I'm afforded the ability to think that makes any sense. So I was listening to a friend of mine talk about another friend of mine who was living like that, going against God, doing things that they know they shouldn't be doing, that the Lord had already told them in his own way not to do. Now, I learned that lesson already, bro. I don't play like that no more. I learned that lesson. He scared me straight out of that. I'm good on that now. I don't play like that no more. Anything I struggle with that would otherwise have me tempted that way, I ask him to help me with. So that he know at the very least I'm not trying to buck him. If I'm falling in a space where the flesh is taking over this or that, I'm telling God, hey, look, man, I'm struggling with this right now. Be aware. Come into these spaces where I struggle. Watch me. Keep me on the right path. Get me out of this space. I'm struggling with this. Ain't working out right now. But I'm not looking to defy you unapologetically like I used to. That ain't what this is no more. That was my old self before I learned that you would strike me hard. I don't play like that no more. I don't want no parts of that striking. That wrath ain't worth it. I don't care how much fun you having sinning. It ain't worth it. At the very least, be apologetic for sure. Do that for yourself. Hear me when I tell you to. Letting them in is a smart idea. You may struggle with this and struggle with that, but please don't think it's harmless when you are defiant, unapologetic, and furthermore sinful in it. That ain't the same energy as struggling with something and asking the Lord to help you and falling off the wagon on whatever it is you're trying to work on. It ain't the same energy. A lot of us still stupid when it comes to this. I'm telling you right now. Don't be. Stop in your tracks right now. All that unapologetic stuff, it comes with a price that is too expensive to pay for a human being, an immortal soul. I'm telling you, it ain't worth it. I don't care how much you think you're getting away with. It's not worth it. I don't care how you perceive the consequences of being that way, not being so bad. It ain't worth it. Establish your relationship with God. The closer you get to him, the more he'll start to show you how to maneuver through that fog. And when you start shaking loose all of that devilish confusion that's been infused in your mind, then you start to understand that it ain't worth it. And that it is not worth it. Furthermore, that you should stay away from it. Just like some of the stuff we were talking about in the video earlier. It is not right for your body, so it should not be placed into your body. And that it is something that can cause you pain is something that should otherwise be avoided. As common sense as that seems, it is the complete opposite of how we operate in a million different things. And that is called devilish confusion and being warped of the mind. In order to unloose the shackles of that confusion, you need to get closer to God and keep your eyes on him. Then he'll help you see clearly as it needs to be seen. So that you don't do self-destructive and stupid things. Thinking you're getting away with it, or thinking that the pain is something you can handle, or thinking that it ain't as bad as maybe other people are saying, or thinking you need to shun people who are telling you it is as bad as it is. Laughing off wisdom, saying you're going to do whatever the hell you want to do, despite having so many people show you that was never smart. So many people show you that you probably shouldn't have did that. How many people have lived and suffered after laughing at God before we start to realize we probably shouldn't do that with ourselves, not in our lives, not with the time that we have. Maybe we'll learn, maybe not. And that's the point. That maybe not is the presence of that confusion being hard at work, working on a lot of us. We need to move on from that confusion and put ourselves in a position to do things that make a lot of sense in our lives so that we don't suffer, so that we don't force others into suffering, and furthermore be held to contempt by the one who judges us all. Only to find out when the fog is clear that all of this was absolutely obvious. Absolutely obvious. So that's pretty much what I want to say, man. I wanted to give y'all extensive conversation this week after seeing them babies in my phone dead and seeing people continue to engage in the same stuff, giving Gail the Godot a star, all this other, warped reality created by those who have the power to do whatever on this earth that they want to do in the name of the devil that they serve. I tell you, there will be resistance to a lot of this. You will see certain things play out in a way that makes it so that people see things a bit more clearly. God is tired of these people. God is tired of devilishness and confusion and warped brainwashing and stuff. He's tired of a lot of that. And as we continue to find ourselves in a space where we live before the reckoning of the Holy Spirit, and we see people dancing around and celebrating each other for all the evil that they do and warping the words and language so that they continue doing that stuff without being held accountable, you just remember, the Lord has created certain people on this earth to keep his eyes on him, keep their eyes on him as all of this is going on. And through these people, he is going to do his will. And you're going to wake up and see a lot of changes because of it. VDL 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.